Feeling lethargic? Feeling lazy? Feeling tired? Can't sleep? Well, join the amazing duo, Lady K and Lady J, for a program which is geared to enrich you, mind, body, and soul, right here on 246 BajunVibesRadio.com, 12 till 3 on a Sundays AM, 7 till 10 p.m., 8 till 11 Eastern Standard Time. Don't you miss it. Feeling lethargic? Feeling lazy? Feeling tired?
Hello, 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 hello,
Hi,
hello.
hi, hi. How are we doing? How are we doing?
Tommy, how are you doing? How are you doing, Tommy? How are you doing, Lady J?
I am excellent. I'm
Oh,
blessed.
wonderful, wonderful.
How are
Tommy, how
you?
are you?
How are
I'm
you
doing
doing?
great. Tommy, how are you?
I didn't plan on being on screen here, so
Well, you're here.
You're here. Welcome.
okay. I'm going to share us out here, all right?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Lady J. How
And
are
then,
you doing?
I am excellent there. I'm glad that we're covering this topic tonight because many people are trying to find their way, trying to find their purpose, and your purpose is with them. And when you can find that thing that really ignites you and makes you feel that spark within you that you brings you joy and happiness, you know you found something, and it's all within. And sometimes you just need to rest and pause, reflect on who you are and who you are becoming. And when
Yes,
you can take the time for yourself and pause, reflect, go inwards, turn within,
sure, sure.
move into your inner self, go into that inner space where you can draw that level of wisdom, where you can draw that great
Mm,
inspiration, and you find yourself, you find something so beautiful that when you find that thing, when you pause, reflect, as I just listed, you find something new and you give birth to something so beautiful that the world is waiting for.
mm-hmm.
So, I think that's what sorry, Tom, you go ahead, sis, you want to say something? Yeah, no, what I was saying that when you, as what I listed there, when you take the time from the hustle and the bustle of life, all the response you have to do and all the messages you have to do and everything, but when you pause and take that time for you, that's why we wrote the book Self Care is Intentional, because you have to be intentional about this when
Yes.
you trying to pull your purpose or let your purpose pull you, however you want to phrase it. When you take that time for you, you move all the outside noise
Mm-hmm.
and you zoom in on yourself, you, because you
Mm-hmm.
want to live the best of you.
Yes.
And in order for you to live or build on the best of you, you have to move away all the distraction.
Mm-hmm.
You got to heal. You got to move away. You have to step into the space of, look, I want to be my best. I want to live my
Mm-hmm.
best. I want to live my greatest self. And when you want to do all of that, then you got to look at the forgiveness, the unforgiveness that you're harboring within, the things that you're not letting go, that things that is not serving you well, that no longer fits for you. Because as you lean into your purpose and as you move into your higher self, there are a lot of things that your life change, because you move into a level of transformation. And when you move into a level of transformation, then some things don't fit for you, because what you tolerate was used to tolerate, you no longer do, because it don't work for you anymore, because you're rising higher.
Sure. Sure.
Right? You're
Sure.
moving in a different zone of yourself. And when you can do that, but first of all, you got to be healed. You got to focus in healing. You got to move from letting go all the things that don't serve you well, because those are baggages that you carry with you. And you want to move light. You don't want to move heavy laden, that you feel so overwhelmed because there is so much distraction and so much that is coming at you that you're carrying with it. And sometimes we're carrying too much things that we don't even deserve to carry with us, because it's not ours to carry. And when
Absolutely.
it's not ours to carry, then we feel so heavy weighted. So tonight, that's why it's good that we're talking about this subject, because we got to clear away of all the things that are really holding us back from
Mm-hmm.
living our purpose, from living our best self, from
Mm-hmm.
living the person that we are becoming. So if we want to, I mean, this is just our perspective, but if we want to embrace our true purpose, the reason why we're in this world, the reason why we're in this universe, and we want to serve. And when we want to serve, we want to serve at a very high level. That is why self-care is so important for us, because you got to focus on yourself, keep your cup filled, because you cannot serve from an empty cup. When you serve from an empty cup, you're doing a disservice to yourself and the person you're serving, right?
Yes.
So you got to fill yourself up, whether it's prayer, whether it's whatever it is for you. Because as if school we graduated from, we all are by your individuality, each his own. What are you
Mm-hmm.
focusing on? Make sure you're maintaining, whether it's your nightly routine or your morning routine. Say 45 yourself before you step into the space of the world of the day. 45, say filled up, so that whatever you encounter during the day, you've already done that work. You've already cleansed yourself. You've already prayed. You already do your affirmation. You're already focused on your I am, knowing who you are. You're already reminding yourself, I am special. I'm amazing, right? You do your mirror work. You look at yourself and remind yourself who you are and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then you also have to look and see, what am I doing? It is giving me joy? Is it giving me joy? What am I doing? Is it really me making other people really happy? Or am
Mm-hmm.
I just pleasing people? And
Mm-hmm.
those are the things we're going to talk about, because when we just focusing on pleasing people, we are doing ourselves a disservice.
Absolutely.
Because what life are you living that you're just living pleasing others, and your dream, your goals, and every single thing that you want to achieve, that you have on your list, is not fulfilled, because you're
Sure.
taking the energy and time to focus on. You have to focus on other people, because that's the world we live in. But focus on yourself, and only focus your energy where it's necessary, right? Focusing your energy is necessary.
Yes.
And before I pitch the mic to you, I want to talk, because we're going to talk about that too, alignment. Because you don't want to be misaligned. You want to be aligned so that you can really collaborate, projects, whatever is it for you, so that you can really live your dream and harness all those goodies that life has got to give to us. So this is a way that we can just share for this space, and we're inviting people to join us for this 2 hours, and participate in the comment. Are you embracing your purpose, and what is it for you that is going to take for you to really achieve that, and what is it that is standing in the way of you, for you not really living that? Because look where we are. We're concluding the month of May, right? We're moving into June. The year is moving by so quickly. And are you really practicing what you really want to do? And I think those are some of the questions we have to ask ourselves, because our setbacks does not define us. But what defines us is that if we live in our true essential self, We live in our true purpose, the reason why we're here, and we bring in joy. We create an impact in the world and happiness. So I just want to take the time to invite all who subscribe to us, thanking everyone who joined the program of Bloom Again, because that is a really great program that we launched a couple of weeks ago. Because Bloom Again is tea, talk, and transformation. We invite you into a space where you just relax, sip a cup of tea of your choice, right? And just talk, and you so that you can experience the level of transformation. So thanks to all of you, and continue to subscribe to our channel, because we are trying to, when we are growing our channel with solid information, great content to expand your toolkit or your toolbox so you can live the life of you deserve. We always have great guests on who inspire us and help us to achieve more and aspire us to want more for ourselves, and not staying in the level of the way that it helps you to think, right? Our guests help you to think that I have more within me that have to give. And that you can touch on that, because when you listen to our guests as they come through every week, they really explain to us how you can really reach in, go inward and turn inward, because it's not on the outside. You got to go inward, live from the inside out. And as you can turn inward to yourself, there is so much new discoveries that you can find. So I think I've said enough. My name is Lady J, holistic health and wellness coach, and so many other things that we do on a daily basis. My loving sister Karen and I, Lady K, all we try to do, or all we do, I don't want to use the word try, all we do is just serve others and help others to live their best lives. Tommy Thompson, welcome. Lady K, I hand the mic over to you.
This was such a great opening. Thank you, Lady J.
You're welcome.
Listening to you, you've touched on all the points that we really want to touch on this evening. But we're going to go so much in depth this evening. And this is such a great topic, because in the space of tea, talk, and transformation, a lot of times, a lot of things comes up with the clients that we are serving. They're always talking about their purpose. So this led us to this topic this evening, and it's to help you, the audience, to understand that your purpose is within you. And as you evolve, your purpose is evolving as well. And many times what normally happens to us as individuals, because we are going through so much of stress, we are going through a period of transitioning, because we are always transitioning. And many times the purpose is lying under there. And we are trying to find that purpose. We are trying to find that one thing that is going to spark us, that is going to bring value to our lives. It's lying under there. That purpose is lying right under there. But how do you find it? How do you find it? Are you sitting still with yourself? Are you recalibrating? Are you finding those moments whereby you can check in with yourself and ask yourself some really hard questions? Because when you ask yourself the questions, you got to sit still to get the answer. And sometimes the answer don't come right away. Sometimes it takes days before the answer comes. But you got to open that space. Lady J, I really like when you talk about forgiveness, because many times we are blocking that space. We're really blocking that space where things supposed to arise in our lives. So we got to clear away. We got to make that clearance. Like forgiveness, we got to forgive people. Because one thing we got to understand in life is that many times when people are reacting, it has nothing to do with us.
True.
It has nothing to do with us. It's what they are experiencing at that point in time with their life. And they are only projecting upon us as individuals what they are experiencing.
Right.
But then there is a flip side to it as well, because many times we need that trigger in order to understand ourselves as well. Because we may be going through a transition period and we need that awakening from that individual. And they come in right on point to help us to understand more about ourselves and understand that we are going through a transition period in our life. So we got to pay attention. We got to stay alert. We got to stay awakened. But in order to get to that awakening stage, it don't happen just like that. It happens sometimes we got to go through some real tough waters. Some real tough waters to get to that awakening state. And it's not a beautiful state sometimes for us. Because many times, sometimes we ask ourselves why this is happening to me. Instead of we ask the question, why is this happening for me in order to take me through that transition period? Because we're asking for things in life, not knowing that things comes with a lot of stuff. It don't come just like on a platter where it's going to serve us. Because in order for we to transition into another phase of our lives, we got to go through to come true. We got to go through to come true. And maybe at this point in time in your life, you're moving through life, but you're moving through life on autopilot. So maybe the things that you used to excite you as an individual, it don't excite you anymore. And maybe you're questioning your direction and your calling and your why. Maybe that is what you are questioning right now. Your why, your direction, and your calling. You're questioning that right now. You are at that point where you're questioning, and that doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you are evolving.
Beautifully said.
Thank you, Lady J. It means you are evolving. And in this episode, we're unpacking the real reasons your purpose feels distant from your burnout, because many times you're stressed out, we're burnt out, and to the identity shift to empower you as an individual. And many times we abandon ourselves without even noticing. We abandon ourselves without even noticing it. But we are here this evening and we're going to help you to understand, you know what? There is more to you. There is more value. There's more worthy to you as an individual. And once you tune in to that essence, we like to call it the essence. Once you tune in, you can really understand exactly what's happening to you as an individual, because your purpose is closer than you think. Your purpose is closer than you think. And before we get started and get in depth, I just want to read something that Lady J and I composed together for you as an audience. I don't know if you heard us said this before, that when we finish our meditation every morning, we always ask the divine, we always ask this question: how can we be of service to humanity? And then we got a follow-up question: provide us with all the necessary tools. Provide us with all the necessary tools that we can be of service to humanity. And a lot of persons is asking us, what is Bloom Again and Tea Talk and Transformation? But I'm going to break it down to you tonight.
Go right ahead.
For months now, we have stepped aside to allow a higher divine flow to move through us. That's Lady J and I. We have surrendered to the process, receiving sacred instructions and information on how to best serve humanity during this powerful time of awakening. Out of that divine blueprint, Bloom Again, Tea Talk and Transformation was brought into existence. This is a space. This space is not of our own making. It is a divinely orchestrated sanctuary given to us to help humanity heal, elevate, and transform. It is sacred invitation for you to align your energy, share a cup of tea, and engage in soul-led conversations that help you to dive deeper into your evolution. We are honored to act as the ground vessels for this divine vision, ensuring that every detail supports your spiritual unfolding. We have already begun this beautiful journey, and it has been a profound privilege to witness the deep life-altering transformations taking place within the individuals who have stepped into this space with us. Hearts are opening, alignments are shifting, and true healing is unfolding right before our eyes. You have been led here by design into this space this evening, and we hope you will join us. Our deepest prayer is that you too can step into this room and experience this profound level of transformation for yourself in love, light, and divine service. Here is a message from one of our Bloom Again clients. Before working with this duo, my life was a series of loud distractions. Joan and Karen helped me silence the noise and find my hindaha. It's more than just balance. It's a profound clarity where my actions finally match my soul purpose. My business and my personal life have never felt more synchronized. Tracy. So we created this space by divine assignment, and it's helping people to experience the Hindaha energy. And I'm going to break down the Hindaha before I toss the mic to Tommy. The H is for health and hydration. The I is for your intuition. The N is for nutrition and nourishment. The D is for discipline and your dharma, the purpose. That is what we're going to talk about tonight.
Correct. Love that word, dharma.
The A is for awareness and awakening. And the H is for holistic healing and harmony. And A is for the action and the alignment. So this evening, we're going to be talking about the dharma, your purpose.
Right. Did you find your dharma?
Exactly. Did you find your dharma? Or do you know what's your dharma? Because many times we are shifting into different spaces and we don't even know what's our dharma. We're looking for our dharma, but we don't even know what it is, because you know what? We're not listening. And there's so many things that is clouding. There's so many things in front of us. The fog is in front of us. And sometimes we are even running on someone else's paradigm. We're not even running on our own. We're running on someone else because we are trying to match up in relationships. We're not even giving ourselves a chance to live our true self. But in this space this evening, we're going to break things down for you. We're going to break things down and help you to understand that, you know what? You have a choice to step back into your life. You have a choice to give yourself a chance. All hope is not lost. All hope is not lost. And if you step into this space this evening, it's for a reason. And if you know someone who can benefit from this conversation, we highly suggest that you share this out with someone who can benefit. But the thing is that When you come into this space, there is so many takeaways. There's so many things that you can take away as an individual. And we hope that you sit with us this evening. Make sure you have a notepad and a pen because you're going to do some writing. Writing is super important. You need to write. Make sure you have your journal because journal is part of the journey. And once you write the way how you feel, you're able to process things. And the beautiful thing when you look back, you can understand. Tommy has his journal.
Thank you.
When you look back, you can understand why you had to go through this period of transition in order to arrive where you're at right now. But I'm going to toss the mic now to Tommy. Tommy, welcome to the studio. Thank you, Tommy, for being here.
Thank you. Normally I'm behind the scenes and they ninja put me up. I was off the screen. I shared this out to different things on, and suddenly they say, "Hi, Tom." I'm like, "What? Huh? What?" Hope I wasn't making, and my mic was open. Hope I wasn't making too many disgusting old man noises. And
It's all good. You're
I
here.
shared this to my page. So the question is, why am I wearing a pirate patch? Well, um, on May 1, I went to a group thing, a recovery group in a cafe, and I went out to get a chair because there wasn't enough chairs. So I got a chair out of the car, sat down, and the bottom third of my vision had a veil, a black veil on it. I could look around it and through it. And I've had things like that, but you know, uh, long story short, within 2 days, I was 100% blind in that eye. It was just a swirling gray mass, and I was able to get in on a Monday and to a place that did laser surgery, and they told me I had and this is going to fold into the topic here very soon. And I found that the guy looked at me, and within 15 seconds, he looked in my eye. This doctor had worked on me with laser surgery. He says, "You've got a detached retina." And he asked me about how much boxing I'd done. And I'm like, well, most of my boxing skills involved with blocking men's fists with my head. So, and I had banged my head getting into the vehicle. And he says, some of this looks like oil damage and was just hanging on by a thread. And I remember having like flashing lights outside my vision, years ago. And, you know, he sent me to a specialist and I had to drive down this freeway outside of Chicago that is just absolutely packed. And I'm driving with one eye. And my Diana was with me, and she acted as my eyes. She acted to help me get through the traffic. And I was wearing a shirt from Lydia's group that says breathe, and the back of it says I'm calm. Well, I wasn't very calm in that traffic driving with one eye, and I had to do it again Sunday because we had a trip that we make every month. But a lady asked me, weren't you scared? No. And there's a reason for that. I'm in two 12-step programs for uh, various forms of substance abuse. And one of the things we do, and I'll have to do it from memory, maybe I can look it up here in a book, but basically it says in the third step, turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. And so when you do that and you believe it and you incorporate it into your life, you trust God to carry you through all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee you, both these ladies grew up very humbly in Guyana, you know, but they started at an early age due to their mother and father, father, and their grandmother giving them examples and forging them into, they have been this way since they were little girls. What they're doing now, they have done since they were small children. They would come home from school and work in the garden, you know, and then when they harvest that garden was given to their neighbor's soul. And they carried that on in their own country and started a food bank and feeding, people that were living on the streets. And people living on the streets in a third world country is a little different than living here. And they also helped clothe them, and they actually got an award from the UN when the word got to them. So they have been doing this long before they came here. You know,
Thank you.
thank you for being who you are. They also get up at 3 to 3:30 in the morning because that's the quiet time, and they meditate and pray for at least an hour, maybe more, probably more, And I remember Joan used to get a hold of me at 12:30 in the morning, and I'm knowing she gets up at 3 or 3:30 along with her sister. And I'm like, what are you doing getting a hold of me at 12:30 when you're going to get up in 3 hours? Are you out of your mind? No, it's just part of their nature. This is their purpose. Okay. I helped get them started in this, and then they just took it and ran with it and created this platform with so many guests and so many wonderful people. And I got to meet them. Gosh, was it 2 years ago now that we were in New York?
Yeah,
Or
24. 24 we had at Javits Center.
and I got to meet them in person and spend time and I can just tell you these ladies are even more beautiful in person. And everybody that was connected with them, and I watched them wade into this crowd, and everybody they touched was touched, and a lot of people from there have ended up on their show and in their life. Um, I just wanted to tell a little bit about my experience.
Yeah, let's focus on you. But thank you
Okay.
for
No, I just
no,
I
but
like
no,
I
we
I like to.
appreciate.
No, I don't think folks really understand who you are. I didn't really understand
Hmm.
until I had the opportunity to meet you in person, which I never expected could ever happen. You told me, and it happened.
He did tell you.
Um, so much of the new age movement and everything, everything now is on the internet. Uh, oh, find my purpose. What's my purpose? Oh, I can't find my purpose. Is this my purpose? You know, I'm 75, and most of my life was a horrible train wreck for myself and everybody involved with me. I had substance abuse issues. I spent a lot of time in the Army, had mental health issues that had me end up in VA psych wards and things. And I was always searching, searching, searching for some magic bullet, some spiritual experience, some religion. I read all these books. I chased this and I chased that. And then not that long ago, I looked over at the woman sleeping with me, my redhead Diana, and I realized she was my best friend. And I'd been with her for over 2 decades, and I'd never realized that. And so that became a big part of my purpose, was to love her and support her and not create problems in her life. I still do, but not at the level I used to. And I finally appreciated her for what she is, and I believe that's our purpose for everyone, for our significant people, women, whatever, children, extended family in our lives. Just extend love, courtesy, and common decency to those around us. That's my purpose. Also, I'm involved in a couple 12-step programs, and my purpose there is to, in some small measure, give back what was so freely given to me. Um, it's difficult not to get choked up when I think about how many wonderful people were in my life. Like, you know of Harry, you've heard of him.
Mm-hmm.
He died recently at 86, and he went out helping others till he took his last breath, you know. Um, and we had meetings at his house, and he would speak when he couldn't even sit in a chair. When he was in hospice, he would still speak up to the very end and worry about other people. Um, and I've seen enough of that, and I am nowhere near that, but most of the time my purpose is the next right thing that's in front of me,
Sure.
whether it's mowing the yard,
Sure.
taking care of our vehicle so that we have something we can drive, not messing my money up. A lot of my purpose is to not continue to make the same mistakes I've made throughout my life
Mm-hmm.
from the time I was young, you know? And I had every excuse in the world, and I was so desperate to find my purpose. And then I found out my purpose was to be exactly who I am, where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I help carry a meeting into the jail every 2 weeks. Keith, a guy I work with in a 12-step program, and I carry a 12-step meeting into the local jail, somewhere where he and the type of place he and I have spent a lot. He spent a lot more years in places like that than I did. But we're able to give back what was so freely given to us. It's something simple like making eye contact and with the cashier at the store, or saying something nice. You know, some poor lady is maybe working 2 jobs, working at Walmart, and she's in a checkout, probably a single mom or something, or even an elderly lady closer to my age. Engage with them. Don't just treat them like they're a checkout machine.
Mm-hmm.
Just a
Mm-hmm.
few kind words, or just making eye contact. You're alive. You're doing something. Thank you. It can be so many small things like that. Uh, I don't know if I have anything more to say on that. It's just the small things every day, in my experience, that is my purpose now. I used to worry about
Mm-hmm.
things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it just isn't important. I'm here. I've got a spiritual practice. Uh, I feel it's important for me to get out in nature. I haven't been doing it much since I got injured. And also, I'll get these little nudges, right? Like, you need to go back walking and you need to stretch yourself out. You know, I haven't been doing, since the eye thing, I hadn't been doing. It had been raining a lot, and the normal places I would go out in the forest, my God, the mosquitoes would pick you up and carry you off. So with all the rain we've had here, and so I haven't been doing it. And anyway, so I'm mowing the yard, right? And it's difficult when you're doing it with one eye. I stepped in a hole, turned my ankle over, which I haven't done in many years, and fell over and laid my knee down the ground. I've seen a whole lot of football careers that went down the same way. And so, I mean, I got up and I realized I'm 75 years old. This does not feel good. I got a sprained ankle and a knee that's hyperextended, and I get up and I'm like, I had about 10 more minutes of mowing. I didn't do the front, but I finished the back because I knew, I'm 75. And I mean, when I got up and started to mow again, I was like, this is not going to be good. But I had been given, when I don't listen to those little touches, those little nudges. No, I want to do it later. No, I'm not going to do it now. I don't feel like it. and then something happens. And there
Mhm.
was a little bit more karma involved in what happened to me than that. So now I'm hobbling around with a cane. I'm still going to go to our Memorial Day services with the VFW, which is one of the things I do. I'm on part of an honor guard. You know, we render honors for veterans, and I swore I would never do anything like that. But that's part of my being part of the community here, and giving back. So it's a lot of small things for me.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
If any of
Wow.
that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Does make a lot of sense. First of all, we just want to say sorry about your injuries that you have sustained, but what you're showing and what you're demonstrating and what you said we spoke about, that you're showing resilience, right? You're showing resilience because you did not let, yes, you got injured, everything that happened to you, but you said you drove either 70 or 80 miles from your house to get attended to. You describe when you fell over, you got back up and you continue. You described that as the holidays is here and the ceremony that you always attend every year, you're still going to be out there. It's not the fall, it's the rise that follow after. And there is where the level of resilience is, because you're showing people how it's done. You're showing people, yes, you may have some setbacks, but what do you do when you have a setback? You just don't cloak. You come back stronger, and you're able to demonstrate that, yes, I have gotten a setback. Yes, things may not work the right way that I've expected it to be, but I'm here, and what I'm going to do in this moment, what difference am I going to make, what's going to be my next step, that even though I've been through challenges, and somebody needs to hear this tonight, because someone might go through a lot of setbacks. Someone may stumble, not physically stumble, but life stumbles on them. And you're deciding, well, what do I do? Am I going to just stay where I am? But we're here tonight to remind you that go within. There is so much inside of you, and you're stronger than you think. So as we listen to Tommy tonight, and he shared his story, and he shared how he found love, and in you driving that 70 or 80 miles from your home, the woman, the special woman that you love and care deeply for, you found a new sense of meaning of love being with her. She had to be your eye in that moment, because you had your one eye that you can see clear of, but your other eye was being injured. And she was able to be right below at the side of you and help you both to make the journey back and forth. So there is a beautiful thing about love, and love that is unconditional, love that is so beautiful, that you have found with her. And you said, I think you said, there's 2 decades between both of you. And there is where the beauty is. And we want you to just share maybe something special that you normally, that you feel comfortable to share with us, that what you do is special for her in the moments as you have realized that how love is so beautiful and you found something so beautiful about her.
Um, okay. Uh, One of the things that's happened, and it's been fairly recent, is I realized that my heart was closed off.
Hmm.
And now, and she's on the phone talking to a girl that she sponsors in a 12-step program right now here in the background. But I feel a heart connection with her when I think about her. When we were earlier, when I was talking, I felt like this love flow and a love connection with her. And I want to share something that I saw that I found very inspiring. It was probably 2 or 3 years ago. We live in a small town, and there's a lot of it's rural and rural Midwest, and a lot of the people here are very unhappy. But there a lot of elderly people. They just shine with a special love or something. And it's not a large, but it's a much larger part of the population. And sadly, a lot of that World War II generation is dying off. But I saw a husband and wife, and it was raining. And I saw the husband get out, and he was just wearing like a short sleeve shirt, and he wasn't doing anything special. And he got out and held the umbrella. He wasn't under it. He was holding the umbrella, getting rained on. And he held the umbrella for this elderly woman. They looked like they were well up in her 80s. They could even been older. And he was a
Wow.
great big tall guy, and you could tell when he was younger he was really strong, athletic, maybe been a retired farmer, I don't know. But he stood there in the rain holding that umbrella. And this lady opened the door and put together and put out her own walker. And he held that umbrella over her,
Wow.
allowing her, you could just tell that she did not want help.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
this frail elderly woman, he held he, he held that umbrella over her and let her slowly make her way into the store. And you could feel the love and respect. And she and I have had different health issues. I've almost lost her once or twice. I've had to take her to the emergency room. I don't want to get into all the details. But so after seeing that, it kind of inspired me and caused me to reflect and look at my own life and how selfish I was without realizing it from habit. And I don't know if that connects, but I see some of these women and some of these people that are in their late 80s, early 90s, and they're just luminescent with love. That's my purpose.
Mhm. Thank you.
That is truly amazing for
Thank
sharing
you.
that
Thank
story.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
many times we are living in the purpose, but we don't really understand that's the purpose.
Mhm.
Many times we are living our purpose, we don't even understand that is our purpose. Because let's say, for instance, that gentleman who just in that point in time, he just decided to open that umbrella. That's kindness. That's being mindful of the moment, you know. And he stepped up and he realized that this person needs shelter. And he just show up out from nowhere. He just show up and just open that umbrella over that individual and guide them towards. He felt the need that he should do that. So many times our purpose is right in front of us, but we don't recognize it. As I said before, there's so many things clouding our judgment that we can't see it. That is why we got to clear away the debris that is in front of us so we can understand our purpose. Because many times we're asking ourselves, what is my purpose here? And many times you're already living your purpose, but you don't even realize it. You don't even realize that you're living your purpose. So you got to pause. You got to recalibrate. You got to check in with yourself to understand yourself and the life that you're living, so you can see exactly what's happening. Right, Lady J?
Yeah, I just want to also touch, so true, so true. That's very profound, and just want to jump back to Tom,
Thank you.
because when he said the woman who got out of the car and she was not going to take any help, and nothing wrong with that, but she displayed her level of independence. Because, and we as we serve different clients, we also see that as well, that they just want to, which is a good thing, to hold on to what independence that is left with them. And so she kept her independence, and she, even though she might have been frail, but she still had a level of strength. She still had a level of determination. She still had a level of courage, that she held her on her walker, and the kindness of someone who held the umbrella to shelter her, to take her wherever she was going, into the store. So it also,
That was it. That was his wife.
that was her husband.
I guess yeah, I didn't explain it.
Right. So it just shows you, and so that also demonstrated about love, because love, when we're seeing it more and more in our circle, that we see love so beautifully shared with elderlies. Karen, you can relate to that. That we just have been. It's just a beautiful thing to watch, to see love continue to flourish, love continue to bloom, love continue to blossom at the ages of 80s and 90s. It's so beautiful when you can cherish and have that. And it's so nice of you, that Tom, that you have reached a journey in your life, that you make that transformation and make that shift. And we say, sometimes you say to yourself, we don't want you to beat yourself up, Tom, because you've did the best you could. But you're in a new phase in your life, a new stage in your life, and you found something beautiful. You move into the level of transformation. And now what you're doing now, you're redesigning something beautiful. You're realigning something beautiful for you and Miss D, so that you both can share a more beautiful space, more beautiful love, more beautiful kindness, more beautiful bliss. Right, Karen? Lady K?
Absolutely. And when we're moving through life, right? It's the old you
Right.
and the new you, right? But is the in between. The in between, most people panic that in between. And that in between is a transformational phase that we got to go through. And how are we going through that phase? How are we pivoting ourselves? How are we understanding what is happening in that phase? Because we are looking at what is happening and we are questioning what is happening, not knowing that is part of our journey. And when we look into what's happening, it's because the purpose that we're looking for lies in between there. What we are looking for lies between that panic state. But when you stop being panicked and start looking and start listening, you're able to understand that phase of our life. Because we all go through things. We all go through these different phases of our lives. And these different phases is there to teach us something about our lives. Is there to teach us something about our journey. Because our journey is made up of so many things. It's not a smooth journey. Because when you're evolving, there is so many things happen in the different spaces of evolution. Let's just look at a plant. You put a seed in the ground, right? Every day you may go to look to see if it put up a sprout, but many times it takes a while because it's establishing the roots first. The seed know exactly what it has to do. It got to establish the roots first. In that dark, clouded moments, it's establishing the roots first, which we don't see. But the seed know exactly what to do. So we as individuals in our dark, clouded moments, we got to establish our roots. And the roots is like journaling, whether you're doing prayers, whether you're doing meditation or whatever, it's going to keep you grounded in that dark, clouded moments. Whatever is going to keep you grounded, establish your roots. Because the thing is that when you emerge, you want to make sure that you're grounded enough to sustain you. Because remember, when you come up from underground, they're going to be heavy winds, they're going to be snow, they're going to be sunlight, they're going to be so many things that is going to be happen when you emerge. So you got to make sure your roots are great enough so when you come up, you can able to sustain any things that pass by, you can sustain it. So we as individuals, when we make that transition, because our purpose is there, as we're making that transition, we are moving to our purpose. And when we establish that, we can able to understand, you know what? We establish the roots. We emerge now. So we are moving towards a next direction. Because all our moments, all our experiences that we go through is leading us somewhere. But many times when we ask for things in our lives, but we're not realizing that when we're asking for something, we got to go through different experiences, different situations in our lives in order for us to come through to the other side for what we're asking for. Because what we're asking for, we have to have the capacity for what we're asking for.
Right.
You just don't ask for something and don't have the capacity for it. Because if you don't have the capacity for what you're asking for, what is going to happen to you? You can't sustain it. So in order of going through all these different things that is going to happen, leading you up to what you're asking for, it's helping you and as an individual to sustain yourself, to understand yourself, and to understand where you're going and preparing you for what you ask for. Life is a journey. And this journey that we're on, we're going to go through different experiences. Different experiences. My experiences may not be your experiences. But the beautiful thing, we got to understand, we got to go through experiences in order to get to the other side of our evolution. Right, Tommy?
One of the things that I wanted to talk about is I remember my grandparents. My grandpa died when he was 78. He was born in 1901. My grandma was born in 1913. They married when she was just 15. They were down south, very, very poor. And they worked as migrant workers and sharecroppers. And my grandma talked about picking cotton, which was very tough in the hands. And, someone who picked it, they had these great big long sacks that they put cotton into. They picked it by hand. It was very rough work. My dad said your hands would just be raw and bleed until they got tough. And it was unbelievably hot there. And she talked about her two little boys, my dad and his brother, riding on her cotton sack, that weighed like 200 pounds. And she had those two boys. And when they were younger, when they were babies, she would have them wrapped to her in a quilt. And I'm sure in your country you've seen women do something similar. And she would pull cotton, which was very hard work. And as she was telling the story, her eyes just lit up with love and happiness with her two boys telling that story when she was a young mother, not even barely, not even 20 years old, I don't think. So that goes to show, I can't explain it, the true open heart. And I remember my grandparents who were they moved up north, they were very poor. And my father had no happy memories of growing up under there. But the love just flowed through them for us. And they were very active in their church. That was their purpose, to work and to love. And they never questioned it. And I think a lot of that and these people were poor. My grandpa had a third grade education. My grandma got through seventh grade, so she handled all the money and everything, and read through everything that they had because he couldn't do it. But they worked so hard. They would work on this house they bought that was falling down. And they would work until 2 or 3 in the morning and go to their factory jobs. And you understand that because you grew up with people like that. Hell, you are people like that.
Yeah.
So their purpose was right in front of them.
Yes.
To love their grandchildren, to give their sons more than they had. And they loved us grandchildren. And we weren't all that. We were a piece of work, most of us. And they loved us without reservation for the entire time of their life. And she lived to be 97. So that to me is a reflection, but also all around us, we are given these opportunities to find purpose.
Yes. Yes. You're so right on what you just said. That is why I was just saying, sometimes we don't realize our purpose is right in front of us and we can't see it. We can't see it because we don't understand. We can't see it. It's right in front of us, and many times, we are carrying expectations.
Correct.
That it's really not ours to carry, like family expectations, religious expectations, relationship expectations, and when you're living a life that is built on expectations and not truth, your purpose really feels distant from you. Because you're not living yourself. You're not living your true self, and you feel distant from yourself. So in that phase, you can't understand your purpose. You really can't see it because you're distant from you. So in order for you now as an individual to really understand, you gotta heal. You gotta heal.
That's important.
Heal,
That's important.
You gotta be awakened, and you gotta shed a lot of layers. You gotta shed a lot of layers that is blocking you from really understanding, and it's not really confusion, it's evolution. It's not confusion, it's evolution. But it's only when you're aware and you understand that, you know what? I'm evolving. I've got to shed these things away in order for me to really get to that sacred aspect of myself. I've got to shed these things away so I could identify my transitions that is really happening in my life, because each of us go through different transitions. Each of us go through different transitions every single day because we are evolving. And what once makes sense, it's not going to make sense anymore to you, because remember, you are evolving. That period of your life now is gone. It's because you are evolving. You're evolving into something that is new. So this part of you needs to be shed in order to evolve into this new person that you're becoming. But many times we always go back to the familiar. We always run back to the familiar because this is what we understand, not knowing this need to drop off in order for us to arrive to the new. Right, Lady J?
Correct. And very profound.
Thank you.
And thank you for explaining that, Tommy, what you shared too as well. And also, when you disconnect from your purpose, right, or when you're disconnecting from your purpose, it really don't happen at once. It happens slowly, right?
Yes.
It happens slowly because of situation happen. It happens slowly. Events happen in your life. It happens slowly because of pain. It happens slowly because of burnt out. So with all those things that I've listed and many more, grief, loss, so you become disconnect from your purpose, right?
Yes.
Because of those things that are happening or those things that happen from you. But your purpose is not lost. It may just be laying, I think you mentioned that, Lady K. It's just laying beneath, right?
Yes.
Because so much have happened, so much, you become exhausted, you're overworked, you're tired, you're fatigued, so much, because of so much things have piled on you. Number of years, number of months. So you have become disconnected from your purpose. That is why it is the most important and the most significant thing for you to do. Take time for yourself and trying to find, not really find, but take time for yourself so that you can reconnect. You could reconnect with your purpose. And I think too that when you reconnecting with your purpose, after you come through all of that and you sift all of that out, you become something new, right? I think your purpose actually become even more richer, more stronger, more profound, because you've moved through that. You moved through all those experiences. You've learned a lot of lessons along the way, I would say. And so you're stronger now. You're reconnecting because it wasn't lost. It was just laying beneath because of the pile of so many things that you've been through. But now you resurface and you're stronger, you're better, you're more aware, you're more awakened, and you're full of more greatness, more aspiration, more new level of wisdom. And then you can move into the evolution stage as you spoke about, move into the level of transformation. And your purpose is going to look different, because before all of those things happen to you and before you lay quiet in your purpose, as you rise and come out from beneath all of that, you're a different person. You're not the same. You're new. You're becoming new. You're becoming, because we're becoming all the time. We change all the time. And as you move through these different seasons of your life, you are moving into a space of more fulfillment, more joy, more happiness, right? And you have able to shape your purpose even in a better fashion because of all the experiences you've been through. And we're going to continue to go through experiences in life, but those are things that shape us and built us to be stronger, courageous. We talk about resilience. You find your way, and you're stronger, you're better, and you can show up with your all. And you practice self-care, which we always talk about, so you can serve from a full cup, not an empty cup. You're being restored. Restoration have taken place.
Mhm.
and you're able to give your all, and you're able to serve well and serve in a meaningful way, you
Mhm.
become more intentional.
Yes.
You
Yes.
become more intentional.
Mhm.
And when you, I like to say, because one of the word, because most people every year you move into a word, move into the year, and you come into a year with one word. And the year that we move into 20, the word that's being used in 2026 that is our one word is intentionality, right?
Mhm.
Moving with intention. And when we had Dr. Marcia on a couple of weeks ago for a show, she said she also moved with one word, but she also moved into the year with a song, right? I know you guys remember that. She
Mhm.
also moved with one word, but also a song that she's resonated with, and that she connected with her and also with her entire family.
Mhm.
So because then you live that word, you act on that word, you're moving on purpose and on point on that one, because that is what the word represents to you.
Mhm.
So every action that you take represent that one word. And so our word was intentionality, and that's how we
Mhm.
live. We serve with intentions, we move with intentionality. And we even wrote the book, Self Care is Intentional.
Mhm.
So it for us, our purpose is to serve others and serve them well. Give, right? You realize that you're in a space that
Mhm.
someone needs help. As Tom, I think you mentioned that a kind word, a
Mhm.
compliment, a level of reassurance, because someone may be going through something and they don't see clearly, not saying their way out. Never know that, never gonna try to understand that I cannot do this. And they may say to you or say to us, I don't know how I'm gonna make this. But you're there. Tom, I know you do it too, as well as Karen and I. And to reassure, there is a way, there's a solution. Whether you work with prayers, whatever is meaningful to you, whether you do meditation or whatever is your modality that help you, whatever you lean on, whether you lean on the supernatural power of the universe, God, whatever does it mean for you, whatever is it that works for you, that you can hold on to something that is beyond yourself, that you can anchor, that keep you steady, that supports you outside of yourself or outside of
Mhm.
people. What is it for you that can help you to navigate your purpose, and that you could show up in the world on a daily basis, living your purpose, enjoying your purpose, right? Because it's a joy when you really function. We could say that we are walking our purpose
Yes.
because we love to do what we do. We love to care for others. We love to uh, just do what we do, just serve. So we can say that we are living our purpose. We walking in our purpose.
Mhm.
The reason why we're here in this universe, that we are living our purpose. We are walking our purpose. We share, we love, we care. We embody it fully. And this is, and Tom, I'm glad you touch when you talk about us growing up as kids. We didn't, we are where we are today. But when you, sometime in hindsight, when you look back, that everything that you've done in the past, everything you as you grown up as a child or children or kids was shaping you. It continued to shape us all to our destiny, right?
Mhm.
It continued to shape us to our destiny. Everything you learn along the way. Our role models, our father, our mother, and our grandmother. Those are the heroes in our lives. That we you hear people may hear us talk about them all the time, but they're the one who set the framework for us. They're the one who set the provide the ingredients, I should say, right? That is what we carry with us today. So when you see us be standing on the shoulders of our mother and our grandmother, those are the women who have instilled the values in us. Those are the women who taught us, how to become a woman, and we embody all of that. And so even though they have transitioned and they've moved on, but we'll be carrying on their legacy. We're advancing that forward. So every life we touch, every person we share a moment with is a representation of them. So we are living our purpose. We walk in our purpose daily, every day. That's what we do, right? And it's a true honor for all the lives that we've touched and everybody we meet, that we can make a difference. Because I think at the end of the day, we all want to create some level of impact in the world for
Mm-hmm.
others, right? And when we can share those moments, as Maya Angelou says, just quoting her phrase, people never forget how you make them feel, right? So we would say that, if you're listening today, remember you are amazing. And everyone you encounter, share a kind word with them. If you can do something, just smile, just a compliment. If they're wearing something that looks beautiful, you let them know. Let them know that you look beautiful. The people in our lives, let's continue to show gratitude, who supported us, when we did not even believe in ourselves. Remember to write those notes, send those notes, whether it's old fashioned writing a note, a card, and dropping it in the mail, or sending an email. I mean, now the digital age, but text messages, email, whatever is it for you. Remember those people in your life who's held you down, the moments that you felt so out of it. But they remind you, they reassure you, you got what it takes. And they continue to hold you down and help you to stay strong, help you to provide you with a level of courage, and help you to bring the best out of you so you can live your dream. You can
Mm-hmm.
accomplish your goals, everything you aspire for. That is why it's so important for you to surround yourself with the right kind of people who can hold you up. It's important to be in groups, in communities that can really help you, support you. You support them, they support you. It's a level of reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can
Mm-hmm.
find that, hold on to that,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's very difficult to find people who really have the true meaning to support you, or not coming to you with a motive, but really want you to win, want you to succeed, and you do the same in reciprocating that to them. So those things are so important, and I feel that is our purpose. So is to help others, whatever little ways. I know, Tom, you spoke to us earlier about behind the scenes. You talk about it's the small things, and yes, it is the small things. Sometimes it's the little things that make the big difference in someone's life, right?
Yeah.
So tonight we want to let you know, you might be worried, you might be carrying a lot of things with you, and you might be carrying some things that you don't even need to carry. So you gotta move into the sense of reflection, move in the space of introspection, because we are in the fifth month, almost to conclusion. And what do you want the rest of the year and the rest of your life to represent? What are you carrying that is no longer serving you? What groups or people that you're around that not serving you well, although they don't you're not aligned with them anymore, because when you're not aligned, then there's a misalignment, right? And you want to always be aligned with what you're doing, your calling, your purpose, your intentionality. Because when you can move into this space and you can live your best, because then you can get the ultimate, the best results for yourself. Not only for yourself, you're able to create a level of impact for the world, for others, whether on a global scale or a small level. Your communities, your town, your village, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. But you want to live the best. You want to create a level of impact that must be felt. You want to make a difference in your own way. But you have what it takes. But before you do all of those things, you have to be a holistic health and wellness coaches, right? So we always remind people you got to eat the right kind of food. You got to make healthy choices. What you're listening to, right? So that you can able to not only function, but function with wellness. You're solid, you're strong, you're healthy. You have the level of vitality to live your dream, live your best, live all that you're here for. Lady K?
You and Tommy, both of you really touch on some really great pointers, because many times we feel so disconnected. We feel so disconnected, and there are seasons when you wake up and feel something inside of you is so dim. You feel something inside you feels so dim, It's not broken, it's not gone, but it's just muted.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. That's
it's
beautiful.
not broken, it's not gone, but it's just muted. And you're there and you're sitting,
Mm-hmm.
but we're now realizing that under all of that, it's the purpose. You move through your day, but you don't feel connected to this purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're doing all the things that you're supposed to do, but you don't feel like it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that you are not aligned, because remember, you're moving through this transition period. It's like an integration. Is an integration period in our lives. So because of that integration period, everything feels so, the frequency is like up and down. One day you feel it, one day you don't. It's like it's an up and down period. If someone is listening in the audience, I know you can resonate with what I'm saying. There come a point in time in everything feel up and down. One day you're feeling good, and the next day you don't feel so good, and sometimes the next day you don't feel so good. Everything is like a wave that is happening in your life, but not realizing that this wave is the integration period. And then the purpose is lying right under there. It's right under that wave that you're feeling. The purpose is right there. But remember, if you're going through that wave, you cannot understand what's happening, because you're integrating into the new you.
Beautifully said.
You are integrating into the new you. So the purpose you cannot understand, you cannot align to that purpose, because you're making that integration, that transition. You're going through the wave. So some days it's up, some days it's down, because you're going through. And then sometimes you ask the question, why don't I feel aligned with my purpose the way I used to? Because remember, you're becoming somebody new.
Mm-hmm.
So what once was, it's going to become different, because remember, you're becoming someone that is new. So sometimes you find you used to do this here, but you're not aligned with this anymore, because remember, evolution is happening within your life. So you're not aligned with this anymore. So the integration period is giving you all the tools that you need for the next phase of your life. And many times that is what we don't understand.
Right.
And another thing too is like, we're overgiving of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We are under chronic stress,
Mm-hmm.
emotional exhaustion,
Mm-hmm.
people pleasing.
Mm-hmm.
We are ignoring our intuition.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are happening to us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the purpose is lying right under there. But we can't see it, because we have all of these layers.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why we got to clear away these layers in order to see what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And once we clear away all these layers, we are able to move into that phase of understanding or dharma, which is our purpose.
Right.
And our soul, our spirit, it's rearranging itself. Because all that we went through or all that we are going through at this point in time, it's rearranging things. It's rearranging. Your identity is shifting. Your values are evolving.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, you're becoming new. So all these things are happening in this present moment. It's like a rebirth. Nothing is lost.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rebirth happening.
Right.
It's a rebirth. And the rebirth is something new, something that is beautiful. And many times we don't even expect this rebirth. We don't even expect this rebirth that is happening. Because it's something so new, it's something so sacred. And evolution happen. But when this sacredness and this evolution happen, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. That is why we gotta stay aligned.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And once we stay aligned, we could able to understand the process. Because it's all a process we're going through.
Mm-hmm.
As human beings, we're going through a process. All these experiences, all these situations, you may get up one day, you may say some real bad things to yourself. But once you are awakened, you can pull back and say, you know what? Why am I saying these things to myself?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going through a period of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
You got to check yourself. When you realize that you really beat it up on yourself, you got to check yourself. Because once you're in that period of awakening, you realize that these are not the things you're supposed to be telling yourself.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Because once you start to tell yourself these bad things, you're only holding back yourself from the evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to watch your language, your communication with yourself. You got to trust yourself. Your soul know what it's doing. But many times we are suppressing ourselves because the human wants something else and the soul wants something else. That is where the friction comes. The human part of us wants something else, but the soul wants something else because the soul knows exactly what it's here for. But the human part of us is fighting it. And that is where a lot of things started coming into our lives and things that we don't like. So we really got to come to that place of understanding who we are. I know it's difficult because a lot of people say, when they come into Tea Talk and transformation, they say, oh, Joan and Karen, it's really tough. Yes, it is. But the beautiful thing, when you come out from that space, when you emerge from this space, you realize why it was tough. It had to be tough. Because if it don't be tough, you can never have the capacity for what is on the other side. It got to be tough for you to come out from here. To move from here to here, it's tough. We know it's tough. It's hard. It's tough. But then you got to get a mindset.
That's
because
everything.
Once you have the right kind of mindset and understand, I need to go through this in order to come here. Once you have that mindset, surrender and have the right kind of mindset. Once you change your mindset, everything start to flow. Everything start to flow. Everything start to flow the way how you really looking for it to flow because you change your mindset. As I said before, it's not confusion, it's evolution. It's not confusion. We may be seeing it as confusion, but it's not confusion. It's evolution. And the soul needs to evolve. That's the purpose of the soul here. It's to evolve. Because sometimes you find many lifetimes we came here and sometimes we came here and we did not even evolve. We just came here and we had a grand time. We forget about evolution. We had a grand time. and we did not evolve. But the soul came back to me and said, no, it's time for us to evolve. We got to evolve now. That is why we came back here. We got to evolve. So don't beat up yourself. Whatever part you're at is integration. Look at it as integration. Look at it as evolution of consciousness. And when
Like,
you understand that, you're going to see the purpose is there, why the soul really want to evolve. So whatever you're going through, it may look chaotic at this point in time. Your purpose is there. With all that chaotic, your purpose is there. Just wait and you shall see it. It's going to show up. And sometimes as we said, you're already living and walking your purpose, but you don't understand is your purpose.
that's true.
You do not understand is your purpose. You're already living and walking your purpose,
That's
but you
true.
don't understand it's your purpose because you're looking for something else.
Right.
You are looking for something else to be your purpose, not knowing you're already living it.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Right, Lady J?
No, you're and no, I laugh because we have encountered a lot with a lot of people who
Yeah.
express that to us, and like how you touch, the things that can pull you away from your purpose, right? Pull you away from your purpose, and you're not living your true self, your true purpose. But when you stay quiet and you go within and you do self reflection and you come to the level of awareness, and as you move and as you clear away what was pulling you away from your purpose, and you lean in towards your purpose again, because it's a fresh start, it's a new beginning, it's a rebirth, right? Your values changes, right? It becomes very sacred to you because you've grown, because every season of your purpose look differently, right?
Absolutely.
Every season of your purpose look differently. What it used to look before don't look now, and it would continue to move forward and change as you go along, because transformation is taking place. You're doing more. You're moving on you're living your highest self, right? Because when you live in your highest self, life becomes different for you. You're no longer the person you used to be. And people may say to you, you have changed. Yes,
Yes,
you
I've
have.
changed.
You have changed because the tolerance for certain things no longer fit for you,
Yes.
because you're living your highest self, right? You are moving in a different trajectory, right? And so when you are moving on that level, your self-talk becomes different, right? Your I am become different. We love to talk about your I am, because whatever follows your I am is very powerful, is very profound. You design that for yourself, because if you say I am great, I'm capable, and all those things that you say to yourself as your affirmation, that's who you become. But when you factor your self talk and you beat yourself up and you pull yourself down and you drag yourself down and you have this pity party, then that's who you're going to become. The
Yes.
more you speak strongly about yourself and remind yourself who you are, put courage into yourself, determination, and you speak highly about yourself, you might not feel that way right away, but you continuously reminding yourself who you are. I'm capable, I'm enough. And you constantly reminding yourself who you are, and you, because you're building a new level for yourself, you're setting a new framework for yourself, because you want to stay uplifted, you want to
Yes.
rise above who you used to be, you want to rise above a low level. And then you start to associate yourself with the right kind of people who is going to continue to elevate you and move you forward, because you're embracing your purpose, you're embodying your purpose on a full level. The process looks differently every time,
Can
but you
I
know who
jump?
you are. Sure, jump
Can I?
right
Tom
in.
want to jump in.
I just want to tell a story, kind of a parable with this rose that Diana just cut and handed to me. So we had two climbing rose bushes out there. One for beautiful flowers. One had a few blossoms on it. We've lived here over 14 years, maybe once, and the rest of the time it didn't have anything. both of them were dying. So I dug the big one out, and I dug this one out. And I wish I had a picture I could share on here. There are hundreds of blossoms, and this little
Wow.
twig has a beautiful blossom. Diana just cut it and gave it to me, and it's got 3 buds ready to open on it. This
Wow.
thing is just blossoming with flowers. I had dug it all out because it was dead, right?
Wow.
And there must have been a little bit of live root.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
3
Mm-hmm.
years after I dug it out, suddenly it started coming back. And the thing is absolutely covered with flowers. I mean, just, we had a lot of rain this year, and you know, our garden has just gone insane. And here was something that was dead that I dug out.
Mm-hmm.
But there was, and this is a lot like our souls in this earth.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Right.
And for
Totally
me,
true.
and the fact that Diana brought it to me, I realized, here, here was a living parable in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like our love and also our relationship. But
Correct.
also for both of us, we were dead. And it's like a lot of Bible verses, and we bore no fruit.
Yes.
Or I was, and I bore no fruit. But from that little bit of root buried deep in the ground, it came back.
Wow.
Like I just was talking about roots,
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
you know, the roots are super important because once we are planted
Mm-hmm.
and our roots are deep, when there seems to be no life, life is still there.
Right.
When we seem that, you know what, we are giving up, there is still hope.
Correct.
There is still open optimism.
Correct.
And many times what we don't realize is that purpose is not a destination. Purpose is not a job. Purpose is not a single calling. Purpose is the alignment between your truth and your action.
Wow, that's powerful. That is powerful.
Purpose is the
Say that,
alignment
say that
between your
again.
yeah, I've got to say it again. Purpose is the alignment between your truth and your action.
Mm-hmm.
That is your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Your truth and your action. That is your purpose. Because it's the energy you bring to the world. What energy
Mm-hmm.
are you bringing to the world?
Right. What energy are you emitting?
Exactly, you know, and it's the way you love, the way you heal, and the way you show up in the world.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you, Lady J. Lady J. It's the way you show up in the world. How are you showing up?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and purpose is not something that you find, it's something you remember.
Mm-hmm.
Purpose is not something you're going to be looking for to find. It's something
Mm-hmm.
that you remember.
It's for them.
Look back at your life as a little child, as a little boy, as a little girl growing up. What are some of the things that you love? As a little child growing up, that is why I always tell parents, pay attention to your children. Because sometimes they may draw something and bring it to you as a parent. And normally some parents would say, oh, that's stupid. That's not stupidness. That child know exactly what they're doing. They're giving you a message within that drawing. That drawing is carrying a lot of weight. But we don't pay attention. We just, as parents, we don't pay attention. We're not looking at our kids, what they love to do. Because we as parents, we want to live our lives through our children. Not paying attention to what they came here to do. Because remember, they came with their own purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to pay attention to their life. not trying to live our life because we didn't get to do something with our life. We want to live that through the child. So they suppress their purpose. So many times we are walking around because we suppress our purpose. We suppressed it as a child, we suppressed it. So now we are trying to navigate what is the purpose because we suppressed it all our life. So as we about to wrap up this podcast, we just want you to sit back and do some self-reflection. Look at some of the things as a child, what you love to do. Just look back, do some self-reflection. It may take you years back, but just go back to those days. Go right back to those days as a little child, as a little boy, as a little girl growing up. Just go back to those days. And remember the things that you used to do as a little boy and as a little girl. Remember those things. And once you bring that back into the forefront now, you will realize your purpose lies right there. Right there, you're going to find your purpose. So go back, do the self-reflection, and find the things and look at it very closely, and you will find your purpose. It's right there. It never left you as an individual. It never left. It's right there. It's buried. It's buried beneath all the fear, all the angry, the anxiety, the depression. It's buried right there. And once you start to lift those things away, you will get to the core. Right, Lady J?
You couldn't say it more. I couldn't say it better than that. You will get to the core. And when you look back, journal.
Yes.
Journal and make a tally, make a log of what brought you joy back in the day. What brought you joy. And when you start writing, look at the level of emotion that you feel when you're writing that. Because then that would ignite something within you.
Yes.
That you know, yeah, this is what it brought me joy. And now I can even enhance it even better. Because I have more opportunities. I have new favors in my life. And I'm at a great point in my life where I can really achieve more. I can do more. But I'm looking back because I'm looking back. I might have forgotten what have really brought me joy. I might have forgotten what brought me excitement. I might have forgotten what really inspired me. I might have forgotten what brought me great level of wisdom. And as you lean into that, as Lady K says, and you look back and you start really doing that introspection, you will realize that, you know what? There is so much that I look back that I could draw and bring forward with me into the future, that I can reshape my destiny. You can reshape your trajectory. You can reshape who you are becoming and bring a new level of transformation. And also everything that you go through and you've been through, try to find those lessons that it taught you. Because every time you go through an experience, there is a message, there is a lesson in that for you. So pull all the gems out of it so that you can gather that to make you stronger. Because you can never go through something and come out and not have a new level of resilience, new level of strength, become more tenacious. And it will guide you. It will help you so that as you move forward to advance your purpose further, you are able to be in a better position to create a greater impact in the world. You can create a level of difference that you so desire. Your goals can achieve your inspiration, your aspiration, all. But every single thing starts from within. So you're working from the inside out.
Absolutely.
And as you can, as you pull that together and you pull everything we spoke on tonight, you can be on a better level and a better space in your life because you're not starting over. You haven't lost your purpose. It's always there. It's always really being laying beneath. Maybe so many things have happened to you. It's
Mm-hmm.
piled on. But this is a moment. We conclude in the month of May. You're stepping into the month of June. There's so much left for before the year concludes
Mm-hmm.
that you can come in a solid space. That to know you know who you are, you're constantly becoming. But to know that there is greatness inside of you. You're
Mm-hmm.
special, you're amazing, you are unique. So tonight, unravel and pull that purpose back out. Pull
Yes.
everything that was piled on you. Shift it off. Practice, lean into the unforgiveness and look at the things that are not serving you well, that are holding you down, that are weighing
Mm-hmm.
you down, so that you can rise and not right just rising, but you're rising with power. You're
Mm-hmm.
rising with a level of strength. You're realizing your level of the level of resilience. You're rising stronger than you've ever been in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So use this moment to rise and rise strong. And so that you can, as the program we have, you can bloom again.
Mm-hmm.
Join us for Tea Talk and Transformation, where you can able to experience something beautiful, something new, a level of bliss. Because you
Mm-hmm.
never come in and leave the same. We
Never.
can guarantee you that.
Never.
Because
Never.
what you experience there is a moment of sacredness, moment of love, because we pour love on you.
Mm-hmm.
You're washed over with love, washed over with clarity, washed over with a new sense of direction that you can move forward. And not
Yes.
only move forward, but move forward with a level of strength, move forward with a level of courage,
Mm-hmm.
and move forward knowing who you are, that you can step forward and embrace everything that you want to be in your life.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Tommy?
Yeah, I didn't expect to be on screen. I was talking with Lady J earlier. Will Williams is supposed to be here. He must have had something come up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I ninja'd me. They put me on screen and I didn't even know I was there. But I guess I was supposed to be here and talk
You did,
Yes.
you did
because
excellent. Mm-hmm.
um, it's my own experience. And
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
if you knew the chaos and the craziness and the destructiveness of my life for most of my 75 years, the better balance of it, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible that I found myself here and I'm of some value now. You know, so many of us, like myself, and I am certainly not unique, are driven by early trauma and
Mm-hmm.
pain
Mm-hmm.
to make terrible decisions that we build upon and build upon and build upon.
Yes.
And we're like a loose cannon on the during a hurricane on the deck of an 18th century sailing ship. Remember they talk about loose cannons?
Mm-hmm.
You've heard
Yes.
that? What that
Yeah.
was is that ship, that wooden ship might go up and down 50, 60, 70, 100
Mm-hmm.
feet.
Wow.
And if that cannon broke loose and it went up in the air, those things could weigh like 3,800 pounds.
Right.
It would go through the deck
Yes.
or it would take down a mast and sink the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And for so much of my life, I was a loose cannon on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
Both Diana and I have had 4 failed marriages, including one to each other. And I'm just so grateful to still be here.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe your purpose is to be a parent again.
Yes.
Maybe your purpose is to be a helpmate
Mm-hmm.
for
Yes.
one of your elderly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I am so proud of my family and her family for not parking our elderly people that were dying
Mm-hmm.
and took them into the house and cared for them. And my dad did that for my grandmother for years before she passed. And then he found he had cancer. And I was able to
Mm-hmm.
do that for him for a short time. I
Mm-hmm.
watched him do that for my grandmother and for
Mm-hmm.
my
Mm-hmm.
stepmother. And I am so grateful and proud of our families for taking that on and doing it home because it is. And one of our dear friends is doing that now for her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's hard.
It
It's
Yes.
a
is.
hard
It
thing.
is. It is. It is.
And it is so, instead of parking them with strangers in a nursing home to take care of them,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Mm-hmm.
perhaps
Mm-hmm.
one of the most beautiful things we can do
Yeah.
as a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm so glad you touched on that, Tom. Uh, are you finished, Tom?
Yeah, I think so. I
I'm,
had no plans of being here. You guys really ninjaed me here.
you were supposed to be. That's
yes.
what we thought about it. But and thank you for being here too, and thank you for all the shares that you did. But I'm so glad you just touched on a point that before we conclude, that you talk about caring for our loved ones. And Karen and I had the privilege too to care for our grandmother, and Karen and I had the privilege to care for our mom. And as we are caregivers, healthcare workers, we were truly honored to care for our mother and grandmother, the people who have instilled all the values in us, the people who have helped us to become who we are. It was a great honor for us to do that for them before their transition. Just want to say that.
You know, Tom, you're saying that you weren't supposed to be on screen, but we can assure you where you at, there's where you're supposed to be.
Correct.
You know, at this point in time, where you're at this present moment, where you at, there's where you're supposed to be. You know, the audience needed to hear a word from you.
Yeah.
You bring the rose. The rose
Mm-hmm.
was a great example
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of roots
And love.
because many times we think things are dying in our life,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing the root was so deep down and it could go both ways. Because a lot of times we think that, you know what, this is done,
Mm-hmm.
but something trigger and resurface the whole thing. And we got to deal with it again because the roots were so deep
Mm-hmm.
that we got to deal with it again. And it come up, it rise back in our life to deal with it again. So it could go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
The roots could be good, but then the roots are there to help us with our transformation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because when things are being triggered, because things are being triggered in our lives on a regular basis, and when things come up in our lives, we got to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because anytime we tell ourselves you're going to put it at the back, it's going to come again, it's going to resurface. Because the roots are so deep with conditioning that we came through life with. It's so deep that when it surfaces, you got to deal with it, you know. And the beautiful rose, because the root so deep, you and Diana thought that, you know what, there is no more rose we're going to get from this. It's done. Not knowing there was a surprise waiting for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in our lives, we really need to take a closer look at things that we are dealing with in our lives. Take a closer look because a lot of times we think things are dead, but they're not dead because the
Right.
roots are really deep. You know, they're very, very deep. And once it come up, we got to deal with it. Is
Yeah.
either it come as something beautiful or it come as something that is ugly. Whichever way it go, we got to
Right,
deal with
right,
it as
right.
humans. We got to
Mhm.
deal with it, right? But we just want to thank
Yeah.
the audience for taking the time and joining us. And before we go, we just want you to place your hand on your heart and take a slow breath.
Mhm.
Just take a slow breath and ask yourself, where have I abandoned myself?
Mhm.
Where have I abandoned myself? Because wherever you abandoned yourself, that's where your purpose get left behind. Where you abandoned yourself, that is where your purpose get left behind. And don't rush it. Let the answer rise gently.
Mhm.
No judgment, just awareness. No judgment, just awareness. And allow yourself to go through that phase. Just allow yourself to go through that phase and reconnect with your purpose. Just reconnect with your purpose. And this coming week, do something that brings you joy. Do something that brings you joy. And when you're doing that something that brings you joy, pay attention. Pay attention. And say no to something that's draining you, because many
Right,
times we are saying yes to things, not knowing that is draining
right.
our spirit. Just say no to something that is draining you and spend 10 minutes in silence. Spend 10 minutes in silence, have your journal, have your pen. Because when you're in silence, a lot of things surface. And write it down. Whatever is surfacing in your life at this point in time, write it down. And follow one intuitive nudge. Follow one intuitive nudge. Because all of these things, when you look deeper into it, it gives you the answers that you're looking for. And remember that you're not disconnected from your purpose. It's always there. You're not disconnected. Your purpose is lying right under all those things. Your purpose is lying right under there. And I hope, and we hope, that this podcast here helped to guide you back to the version of yourself, your true inner essence. We want to thank you so much for taking the time and sitting with us today, because we value your time.
Mhm.
And we hope that you can join us in Bloom Again, Tea Talk and Transformation. Reach out to us, send us a DM. And we're going to send you the link that you can join that sacred space and experience that in the heart energy. Because when you come in that space, you never leave the person that you came in. You will never leave the same. We can guarantee you, you would never leave the same. Because Joan and I, we give you that space that you can be the person that you're really looking for to be. You can be that person. And you can able to live your purpose. Find that true essence that is within you. It's there. It is always there. It's never left you. You came with it. It never left your side. But there's so many things that is covering it up. So many things that is covering it up. And we want to bring you back to that true essence of yourself. That in that energy within that space is very sacred. So we invite you to be a part of that space. And never limit yourself.
Mhm.
Never limit yourself. Never limit. You're limitless. Never limit yourself. Somebody needs to hear this. Never limit yourself. Never do that to yourself. You're worthy enough. And again, we just want to thank to all our new subscribers. We want to thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. And if there is something that you can take away from this evening, just know that your purpose is right there. It's not something you got to go looking for. It's right there. It's right beneath all the chaos, the transitions, the integrations. It's right there. But just sit in silence and you will get the nudge and you're going to get the answers that you're looking for. It's right there. We thank you once again for being a part of Soul, Light, and Body and enrichment of mind, body, and soul. We thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. And sit with yourself. You will find your purpose. Have a wonderful week. We're going to be here back on Wednesday with a great topic for you as well. Bye-bye. Tommy, thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Lady
Tommy.
J, thank you so much.
We're in it together.
Yes, thank you.